Hey everyone, Myrick here. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today here on Myrick's Minute. Love and blessings. And if this is your first time joining us today, I'd like to take a minute to give you some insights on how I got this thing started. First thing in the morning, what I like to do is start my day off on a positive note, something to get me going, some good motivational piece that can help create momentum throughout my day. And what I found is that the more I talk about it, the more I share with others, the more it sticks with me. The more it helps me throughout my day. So once again, thank you for joining me, because whether you know it or not, you here with me today is helping me just as much as it may be helping you. And hopefully we both can come away with this with some feeling good and producing a successful day. So getting started, I have my notes here. The topic for today is where I'm going is more important than how long it takes to get there. One of my coaches, one of my mentors, Dr. Myrick, he's one of the ones that I like to start my day off with. And one of the things I took from him when he said that one of the most important components of multiplication is subtraction. And what he meant by that was sometimes we get caught up in more is better, or bigger is greater. And then when we get focused on that, sometimes we get off scale, we get off balance, we get pulled and this way and get pulled that way, not really finishing what was over here, or we just decide to take on too much, and then we start becoming overworked, overburdened, and then we find ourselves lacking in other areas. And that goes to say, so working a 12 to 16 hour day doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to reach your goals any faster. Now, that isn't to say that you shouldn't be focused on your dreams, but we have to remember that where there's focused attention, there is no balance. And where there is balance, there is no focus. And what I mean when I say that is that if you balance your attention between things, it's almost impossible to be focused on one thing. And if you focused on one specific thing, it's almost impossible to be balanced between multiple things. But in order to be successful, it's vital that we have both focus and balance. One of the best books I ever read was by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And in his book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill writes about, the habits of highly successful people. And within that book, he broke down a time budget for a 24-hour day. And reading from my notes here, that time budget looks something like, 8 hours a day for sleep and rest, focused attention for sleep and rest, 8 hours a day for work at whatever it is your profession is, the things that you most likely have to do throughout the day. And 8 hours a day, 8 precious hours a day devoted to the things that you want to do, not necessarily things you have to do. That might be spending time with your loved ones, working out, a hobby, a vacation, so on and so forth. But those are the things that you want to do, specifically dedicated, time for that, and not things that you necessarily have to do. So within that time budget, you'll notice that there's focused in the 8 hours broken down, but balance across the board into separate time frames. So that 8 hours that is focused and dedicated for sleep is different than that 8 hours that is focused and dedicated for work. And you can't intermingle the two or balance in between the two, because you definitely can't work while you're sleeping, and you most definitely don't want to get caught sleeping while you're working. But you have that time that is specifically focused for work, and that specifically focused time, for sleep and rest. And then you have that time that you've dedicated that's focused on the things that you want to do. And then when you have that balance across the board, you find that you're not lacking in any areas, that you're well-rounded, and that actually helps you move along in your journey a little bit faster, a little bit more evenly yoked. You're not 18 hours over here working and slaving, then by the time you get home and you have your wife and kids looking at you and you don't have any energy left, to spend time with them, because you've been working over here and you haven't had time to hit the gym to keep your health in order. And now you're lacking over here. And probably this is the time that is most precious to you, that time doing the things that you want to do, spending time with your loved ones. And then I don't have to say that just leads to a whole myriad of other problems along the way. So, in keeping that in mind, let us not be focused on the time it takes to reach our goals, but instead let us find joy in that time that it takes to reach our goals. Let us find joy in that journey, because it's within the journey itself that we'll find the preparation it takes to allow us to grow into who it is that we need to be once we get to where it is that we envision ourselves going. We'll be well equipped to handle that success that we manifested for ourselves. So hopefully that was a good tidbit for you today. I know it was for me. I enjoyed sharing it with you. And thanks once again for joining me today here on Myrick's Minute. Love and blessings, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.